Now we begin with the next season that is known as the rainy season in India, or we call it the southwest monsoon season, because the monsoons play a very dominant role in India, and therefore in the month of June, July, August and September we have monsoons, and hence we call this season the southwest monsoon season. Why this southwest direction is attached to it, I'll explain it. Now, for this, we have to understand the concept of migration of sun and the differential heating of land and sea. Now, in the month of March, what happens is that the sun rays fall directly at the equator in the northern hemisphere, from the northern hemisphere as well as from the southern hemisphere. So, the sun rays are falling directly at the equator. So this part becomes the most heated area of the earth, the equatorial region. Though the equatorial region has high temperatures throughout the year, because of the bulging shape of the earth, this does not get affected much by the rays of the sun, how they fall and where they fall. But in particularly the month of March, the sun rays fall directly at the equator, and the winds which blow in this area are known as the trade winds. In the north, since they have the direction northeast, they are known as northeast trade winds. And in the south, since the direction of the wind is southeast, therefore they are known as southeast trade winds. Now here you will feel that why northeast direction is given when the arrows are towards the southwest. But winds are always named from the point from where it blows and not from the arrows or the area where it is blowing. It is taken from the area where it starts to blow, from the end point. So therefore this direction, if you make the cardinal direction, this becomes northeast and this becomes southeast. So hence the winds which blow here are northeast trade winds and the southeast trade winds. Sun rays are falling directly here. The areas which are having very high temperature is the equatorial region. Land is not so hot as compared to the sea, and therefore it has a high temperature, low temperature and high pressure over the land, and the sea has the high pressure and low temperature, because it is blowing from the land towards the sea. And the winter season has just ended, and we have come to the month of March where the hot and dry season has started approaching. Now we have reached the month of April. This is the month of April, and here also some changes in the direction of the wind takes place as the sun migrates towards the north. Now, due to revolution of the earth around the sun, there is a migration of sun. That means the rays which fall directly at the equator or Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, this starts to happen with revolution of the mm, earth around the sun. So in the month of March, I told you that they fall at the equator. Now in the month of April, they start crossing the equator. These are the southeast trade winds which start crossing the equator, and the northeast trade winds, they start moving towards the further north towards Tropic of Cancer. Then important, sun rays here, see, it is not falling at the equator but it is shifted above the equator. Maybe it is falling directly now at 10 degrees north. After this, come to the month of May. Here, what happens that the southeast monsoons they almost cross the equator by half, and but the northeast monsoons they are further shifted towards the north as the sun is migrating towards the north. So sun is migrating towards the Tropic of Cancer now. Hence, all the winds they are also moving with the sun towards the Tropic of Cancer. So this month has a lot of temperature changes also. Now winter season has passed away. April is quite okay season. May month is very hot. So the temperature conditions over the land is very hot. Temperature conditions compared to the surrounding sea is less. Low temperatures compared to the land. So here if the temperatures are very high, so the pressure will be very low, and here if the temperature is low, then the pressure will be high. So this you must have done earlier. High temperature is associated with low pressure. Low temperature is associated with high pressure. Now because of that, in when we were doing hot and dry season, we had studied about the local winds like the low of the northwestern region, mango showers of the Kerala region, and the Kal Baisakhi of the Assam and West Bengal region. So these are the local winds which are created because of the intense heating of the air which is still dry. Because in the month of May, you have not seen the change in the direction of the winds. Wind's direction still is southeast and northeast. This will change only when the month of June comes. Now here the sun is almost in the middle of a Tropic of Cancer and the equator. So direct rays are falling here. Now in the month of in the month of June, what will happen is that the rays will totally reverse its direction by southwest. This direction of the wind, which was in the southern hemisphere known as the southeast winds, have now become the southwest wind. See here, in the month of March, look at the direction of the wind. It is coming towards the equator. This is northeast direction. This is southeast direction. But in the month of June, there is a total reversal of the wind system. Actually, these winds are the southeast trade winds only, which when they cross the equator, they get diverted towards the right, because here comes in the concept of Farrell's law and Coriolis effect. Because of that, the wind is diverted towards the right in the northern hemisphere and left in the southern hemisphere. So we are not talking about any other country, we are talking about India. So therefore you can see that the winds which were here as southeast monsoons, when they have crossed the equator, they have changed their direction into southwest. And this point is the direction is southwest, and hence the name southwest is given to the monsoons of India. Sun, you can see that it is falling directly at the Tropic of Cancer at this time. So there is a total reversal of the wind system, and since they are falling towards the Tropic of Cancer, therefore India comes under a very high temperature range. The pressure will be very low. It becomes so intense that it attracts the winds from the surrounding water bodies. Now the wind starts to move from the ocean towards the land, and Mostly they are obstructed by the mainly in the whole of India they are mainly affected by the mountain ranges present here. Therefore, we get relief kind of rainfall in India. So, what kind of rainfall do we receive? We receive relief kind of rainfall in India. And what is relief kind of rainfall? That is rainfall occurring due to the obstruction coming in the path of moisture laden winds. So the position of India here, you can see low pressure area is created over the land, high pressure area is created over the water body, then the direction of the wind becomes southwest. So these are the uh, fact features happening in the month of June, July, August, and September. So the direction of wind remains the same in these months, and due to the low pressure on the land, the wind from the sea is attracted towards the land. Now, when it enters India, then because of the mountain ranges that are in Meghalaya, they have the Garo Hills, I've circled it. Then in Aravalli Hills, we have in the west, Western Ghats in the western region again, and of course the Himalayas. These play a very important role as far as the summer monsoons are considered. Eastern Ghats also have an important role to play, but they play for the winter monsoons. So these are the mountain ranges because of which India receives heavy rainfall. Now, because of the tapering shape of India, the monsoons of India have been divided into Arabian Sea branch and Bay of Bengal branch. Now the features and the areas which get rainfall because of these winds in both the opposite sides of India, that is western and eastern part, we will do it in the next class. I hope till here the concepts are clear and you have understood.